Fort Jesus Club once more, and today's topic is these weapons, this fort. I would like to start with a chant. Warrior, warrior, Jesus warrior, 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 Jesus warrior, warrior. Jesus is our warrior. And he is our fort. So they are the weapons that are used in the fort. In Fort Jesus, we had cannons and cannonballs and muskets. That was Fort Jesus. It is still there. So the historical site, Fort Jesus at Mombasa. The Portuguese used to call Mombasa Mombaka. So Fort Jesus at Mombasa was a Portuguese fort. And the Portuguese, when they were moving around, finding the way to India, they used to carry Jesus' flagship. So that's why I chose Fort Jesus. Fort Jesus, I told you, looks like the map of our country, Kenya. And Jesus is our fort. It was shared between two religions that believed in Jesus, because the Portuguese were there, but the Omani Arabs would fight and take over Islam. They believe in Isa. That is still Jesus. Jesus take over. And then again, the Portuguese would launch an attack and take over. So it is the fort of Jesus. And as you see, it was a war place, a fortified place. It was the safest place in the East African coast, because a small number of people could be able to hold a very large army at bay, and they would keep the beautiful port of Mombasa open to the Portuguese ships. Whoever had the fort secured the port. And whoever secured the port secured the trade route. From India down to South Africa to Europe. You know that happened after Mehmet had taken over Byzantium, making it Turkey, the present Turkey. He was from the Ottoman Turks. So, what are we saying? We are saying in our day-to-day living, there are those who find everything going against them. You may have been there. I have been there for a long time, several times. You may have been there. You find you are like wheat on the threshing floor. Because formerly wheat would be put on the threshing floor, and animals like oxen or donkeys would tread with their feet upon the wheat to break loose the grains. So there are times you find yourself there. You'll find people who know you, and those who do not know you will now mock you using your faith. You always say you have faith, but things are not working out for you. Better us who do not have that faith and things are working for us. And yes, you try and everything is not moving. Instead of things going up, they take a nosedive. And you are left asking yourself, I know I'll use a dancehall song. I told you songs are just genres. It means the message. This one was singing about his life, having been thrown out by a girlfriend, and from there he goes to some place and he gets again into trouble. It's a song that talks about what we undergo in everyday life. It is a song Why Me Lord? By a Lance Corporal of the United States Marine Corps. So this is a song from a warrior called Shaggy. So you can download a song by a warrior. The song is called Why Me Lord? And I told you it's sung by Shaggy, who was a Lance Corporal in the United States Marine Corps. He was in Operation Desert Storm, so he knows war. Many of us have been in a situation where we find ourselves asking the same question, why me, Lord? If you have found yourself in that situation, raise your hand. We have found ourselves in that situation many times. And those who have been through this situation, we have a word for you. This is from the Bible. Judges 3, verse 1. Now, these are the nations which the Lord left, that he might test Israel by them. That is all who had not known any of the wars in Canaan. So we see there was a tribe that was left, or tribes that were left, that they would wage war against Israel so that Israel would know warfare. There are times when problems are left in your life so that they wage war against you, put you under siege, make you see like the world is ending, so that you learn warfare. So there are times when some problems come because of satanic forces, but some problems come because you are being given commando training. We go on, verse 2. That one was Judges 3, verse 1, verse 2. This was only so that the generations of the children of Israel might be taught to know war, at least those who have not formally known it. Yes, warfare needs practice. Warfare needs experience. And experience is the best teacher. There's no better soldier than a soldier who has taken part in war. Theory is good. Practice is good. But the war itself is the one that tells what you had grasped in the training or not. So even in life, there was a time when I talked about war in the former videos. And we learned that everything is at war. Even your blood system is at war. The white cells are trying to identify which pathogens have gotten into your body, and there is warfare. In most of the things we do, there is an opposing force. There is warfare. This brings in tough spiritual training, like the training that the commandos are given to make them resilient. Yes, and make them tough to withstand war. So there are times also when God gives you that, Jesus gives you that, and you see problems are coming, but they are strengthening you for a tougher situation ahead. There was a time I was watching training of commandos. I watched the American Marines. There are so many other commando groups also. And I came across Spetsnaz of Russia. And their training is formidable. You are physically hit to learn to withstand war. So you are punched all over the body, real punches. and you don't flinch. Pistols are fired from close by and you don't flinch. Meaning that when you are there, you are fearless. You are a war machine. And also in religion, because we are always battling the forces of evil. We talked about necromancy. We talked about witchcraft. There is that works for us. There is that does not work. Because we learned that some technologies. And when we were looking at books like the Book of Enoch, there are some angels who came and taught people witchcraft. Azazel. It's there in the Book of Enoch. It's a whole book. That's why I was saying it is a technology. But there are also spiritual entities that are after subduing us, our future, our relationship with God, our progress. And there are thieves who are after stealing our destinies and such like things. So you have to be a tough warrior. Christianity is warriorship. Christianity is warfare. Don't be cheated that when you are a Christian, everything is soft. You are a warrior. Be a true warrior. So these are the things that you are forced to learn. These are the weapons. You will be forced to learn fasting. When you fast, you deny the body because you know you are a spirit. Hello? You are a spirit inhabiting a tent that is called the house. So the real you is that spirit there. This is your house. But the house needs many things for maintenance. And that's food and leisure and everything. But when you engage in fasting, you give the spirit more strength, more leeway, because a spirit does not operate on those comforts only. It needs also some tough times to be able to relate with the Spirit of God easily. So that is where fasting comes in. You find it strengthens you. It strengthens your faith. And it's able to make you accomplish things that you would not have done when you are not fasting. It's able to give you a more direct connection with the main force of the universe, the main entity, that is God. You will be forced to learn praise. Judah. I know many of you have been wondering, Lion of Judah, country of Judah. You go to the Old Testament, you know Judah is a name that was given to a boy, meaning praise. Praise. So when you talk of Lion of Judah, we are talking of Lion of praise. Judah is praise. So you will be forced to learn praise, to emulate the Lion of Judah. Yes. You will be forced to praise. You will learn praise. And through praise, you are able to wage war like Jehoshaphat. You can read about Jehoshaphat. You will learn spiritual defense. Because there are times when those special entities, demons, all those things, witchcraft, other things, will be against you. That's when praise comes in. But you know what? You will learn prayers to defend yourself. Yes, you will learn spiritual battle offense. Because in warfare, offense is always more advantageous than waiting to defend. This is where we learn that knowing the Word of God, reading the Word of God, and using the ballistic missile, long range, prayer will be combined. You will learn preemptive strikes. Yes. When the enemy is not aware, you have to know certain times that you do the attack before the enemy attacks. So you are able to fortify your family, fortify everybody, fortify everything, attack the camp of the enemy when the enemy is unaware, and leave the enemy in disarray. Prayers, praise, yes, and the word of God. You will learn preemptive strikes. That's what the one I've been talking about, yeah? In offense. You will learn how to take and maintain territory. Because what happens in the spiritual warfare, when you battle, there are places that the powers occupy. And that's why different temples, you are a temple, independent. But that's where a combination of different temples come in handy. That's why prayer groups are important. So that you take and maintain the territory spiritually. Because they are enclaves, they are called principalities. So through prayer, you are able to take and contain areas. I'll tell you my story. When I came from where I came, the place where I came from has a name that talks about dust and whirlwind. Those from the dark will do whatever scaring and everything they will talk, and they will dissuade me from praising. And I used to sing praise songs. I would put them high, put the hofer and everything high. And through psychic and all that, they will always discourage. Now you are trying to demean us, we shall act on you. But the more I praised, the better I got. And that is the time now when you forget about the threats from the enemy, because Jesus is giving you peace within the storm. Peace within the storm. There is the part where Jesus was sleeping in the boat, and the disciples are screaming, Lord, how can you be sleeping and there is a storm, we are perishing? And when they woke him up, this was the answer. Where is your faith? So we shall have to hold faith. You have peace within the storm so that you can rebuke the wind. You don't have to let Jesus come and rebuke the wind all the time. He told you, he gave you powers to rebuke. That is a time when you rebuke. And you are able to calm the storm of threats. Calm the storms that are trying to inflict fear within you, and be a relaxed warrior in Fort Jesus. You are then tuned to the mode of the song. My story is Whirlwind Bad Manners. I used to call, because they hated my praising. So I called my praising, it was bad manners to them. But I had acquired praising when I was in the other town also. So I would use what they called bad for my advantage. So I used to call my praising Whirlwind Bad Manners. Very bad manners of Judah. I love those manners, the bad manners. Because it was bad for them. It was good for me. So that's when you learn the words, or you're tuned in the mode of the song. Don't worry, be happy. by Bobby McFerrin. I think people have heard that. Don't worry. Do 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 do. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Be happy because you are in Fort Jesus. You are safe within the storm. Yes, Jesus is your fort. Doesn't matter how tough the storm is. You are calm in the storm. You have peace in the storm. And that makes your spirit soar, because an eagle or a bird like the vulture or what do you call them? A swan. When there is a storm, they soar in the storm. In fact, they get a lift. It's like when you're floating on the water. So the storm carries them. But other birds are running to hide. Everybody's running to hide. The eagle is having a good time. So you learn to be calm within the storm, to soar within the storm. And when you have acquired these skills, it is tough training. When you go to the warfield, I'm talking of warriors. Fort Jesus, we're warriors. You have trained hard through those things that I've told you. Now you can soar above the storm. You can fight easy. You can fight easy. So sometimes these problems that come are problems from God. You are being given commando training. You have to be subjected to these tortures. Be subjected to this pain. After that, you can fight easy. Then you will learn spiritual ambush. Like when God is preparing you. The Israelites had been set free from Egypt. But Pharaoh thought and suddenly said, let's pursue them. So they pursued them. That is Exodus 14:9. So the Egyptians pursued them, all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh, his horsemen and his army, and overtook them, camping by the seas beside Pirahi, it is Pirahet, I think. Camping by the seaside, Pihahiroth and Baal-zephon. They went and overtook them, went towards the sea, knew they were now enclosed. There is that hill there, and there is the sea. They have no escape. And so Pharaoh knew now, my revenge has come. Little did he know, it was an ambush. Because what he saw as a barrier, through faith, God made a way through the water, and God turned the barrier into a weapon. Learn that. God sets ambushes. The enemies will chase you and see they have put you against the wall. That is your end. That wall that they have put you against is the wall that will set you free, and is the wall that will crash on them. Just like the Egyptians. They knew they had trapped the Israelites. No escape. There is that hill. And there is the sea. And we are here. We have come before you. So it is annihilation. But Jesus, I'm talking of God. That time, Yahweh had set an ambush. The times when you find your enemies running after you, out determined to destroy you, you never know. It might be the ambush. So, in every situation, after you have asked yourself, why me? Now you know why it happens. Why me, Lord? Now come from there. That was a soldier. He's been in the battlefield, he knows. You come to know that when you are a warrior, you are in Fort Jesus, yours is don't worry. Be happy. That is the message for today. Those who would like to be seasoned warriors, download the Bible app, your phone. And I told you, the Bible is a collection of books. We have 66. We have, is it 73 or something like that? We have 81. And there are more. There are others that were. So do not just confine yourself to those. Go beyond. Go beyond. There are other gems you will find from other places. There are those books that are removed in the Bible. Go to the internet nowadays, you will have all of them. There are others that had a lot of wisdom. So do not be told they are banished, they are forbidden. Read. The Spirit of God will give you what to use and what not to use. Remember, you are the temple. You may join with other people in praising God, in worshiping God, but always remember, the bottom line is, you are the temple. Jesus Christ is your fort. Faith is your weapon. Warriors, warrior, Jesus warrior. Jesus is our fort. That's my take for today.